Welcome to this explainer. And hey, if you're a student of ICS 101, you are exactly in the right place today. We're going to be taking the ultimate guided tour of operating systems, but we're not just looking at them as basic software, right? My name is Hector Wong, and I profess ICS at Leeward Community College. My office is located at the Waianae Moku Satellite Campus. Come visit. We're going to explore them as the foundational digital ecosystems that literally shape how we interact with all of our hardware. So here's our map for today's tour. First up, the OS foundation, then we'll be navigating Windows, checking out the Linux alternative, exploring macOS, and finally wrapping up with mobile and cloud platforms. Okay, let's dive into section 1, the OS foundation, bridging hardware and software. Now, before we explore specific brands, we really need a macro view of what an operating system actually does. At its core, an OS is the essential software link that controls all the interactions between your device's physical hardware and the apps you actually want to use. Think of it as a vital bridge connecting the metal and plastic you bought at the store with the digital tasks you actually need to get done. And no matter which ecosystem you end up choosing, all operating systems share some core foundational duties. They handle your file management, they manage application overhead, to keep your memory from just totally maxing out. And they process all input and output, from your keyboard clicks to what shows up on your monitor. Plus, they handle the underlying utility management. Moving right along to section 2, navigating the Windows ecosystem, the world's most popular OS. With such massive industry adoption, Windows is naturally a primary target for security pros and attackers alike. But what's really interesting here is how the different editions drastically scale up in capability. I mean, look at Windows Home. It lacks domain access and caps out at 128 gigabytes of RAM. But if you shift over to Pro or Enterprise, you unlock network domain access, full BitLocker encryption, and staggeringly huge memory limits, up to 2 or even 6 terabytes. That is a massive jump. But listen, if you're managing legacy systems, you really need to take note of this number, 2025. Specifically, October 14th, 2025. That's the official end-of-life support date for Microsoft for Windows 10 Home and Pro. So, yeah, that definitely adds a real sense of urgency to upgrade if you're still on those older setups. Oh, and here's kind of a surprising fact for you. If you happen to be in Europe, you might encounter the Windows N Edition. To comply with specific regional regulations, this specialized version completely strips out built-in multimedia utilities by default, which means absolutely no Windows Media Player included out of the box. Pretty wild, right? All right, section 3, the Linux alternative open source freedom. Here, we are stepping into a completely different digital neighborhood. These ecosystems represent entirely different philosophies. On one hand, Windows is closed source. It's highly managed with standardized deployments and centralized corporate support. But Linux? Linux is completely open source. It's built on these custom distributions and maintained by a massive global community of passionate volunteers. It's just a totally different vibe. Okay, on to section 4, exploring the macOS landscape, Apple's exclusive environment. Now we're entering Apple's famously walled garden, renowned for its sleek usability and security, but operating strictly on their proprietary hardware. And because of that, macOS actually uses its own native language for files. So instead of your standard executable file, it mounts a .dmg as a virtual drive, and it uses .pkg files for installers. But the most unique part, the .app file isn't actually a single file at all. It's a hidden bundle of operational files packaged together to look like one seamless icon. And when it comes to data protection, Apple's built-in time machine feature is an absolute lifesaver. It systematically steps back in time to seamlessly protect your data right there in the background. It saves automatic hourly backups for the past 24 hours, daily backups for the past month, and then weekly backups for all the previous months. You literally just set it and forget it. Finally, Section 5, Mobile and Cloud Platforms, Computing on the Go. We're moving beyond heavy desktops now to explore lightweight platforms designed to keep us connected anywhere. And Chrome OS takes a really radical approach to this. It drastically minimizes local overhead by relying almost entirely on web connectivity. So instead of needing heavy local hardware, it runs practically all your applications directly inside the Google Chrome browser. It basically pushes all that heavy computing lifting straight up into the cloud. And looking at smartphones, this brilliantly illustrates the philosophical divide in mobile platforms. Apple iOS offers a strictly controlled unified security environment that's completely limited to Apple hardware. Conversely, Google Android embraces its open source Linux-based roots. It's deployed across a massive variety of hardware, all managed by the Open Handset Alliance. It's a classic walled garden versus the open frontier. Well, we've mapped out the major digital neighborhoods today, so I'll just leave you with this final thought. Which ecosystem actually best aligns with your own personal workflow and professional computing needs? Take a look at your devices and decide which of these incredible environments you are going to master next.
The sun is up. Let's go. Quickly, let's make some coffee. Let's see who turned in some work.